Never in my wildest imagination did I think I'd hit another 100k milestone in just 6 months, but here we are sitting at a net worth of over $400,000. And honestly, I owe so much of this to you guys. Whether you've been watching since day one or just found the channel recently, I just want to say thank you for being a part of this journey. As always, I'm keeping to my promise of full transparency. So in today's video, I'll walk you through the progression since January 2025, which I've covered in this video, and exactly how I'm allocating this 400k today. Without further ado, let's dive straight into today's video. Let's go. I want to start with a little background, especially for those of you who are new here. Hi, my name is Demi. I'm a 29-year-old Singaporean and I've been documenting my personal finance journey on YouTube since April 2022. When I first started, YouTube was purely a side hustle. I was still working full-time in internal audit with a starting salary of $2,700, and after CPF deductions, it's $2,160. What you see on screen right now is my salary progression throughout the years. This was my first job after graduating from university in 2019. Fast forward to mid-2023, I took a leap of faith and went full-time into content creation. That same year, I also crossed my first $100,000 milestone at the age of 27. This was mostly saved from my full-time job income. At that point of time, YouTube hasn't really started paying me yet. $200,000 at age 28 in 2024. Then earlier this year in January 2025, at age 29, I crossed the $300,000 milestone thanks to content creation income and, more importantly, the money habits that I've stuck to. Even though I earn significantly more today, the core of my growth hasn't changed. I still save over 50% of my income. In fact, I've increased it to over 70% and spend intentionally on the things that brings me the most joy and value. That includes investing in experiences, little luxuries that sparks joy, and of course, on the people who matter most to me. Like right now, I'm here in Jeju living in this really beautiful Airbnb. It's a little bit more pricey, but I'm okay because I value the experience and the time I have here on my own. And I'll save on everything else that doesn't really mean much to me. Just a quick disclaimer before I show you the numbers. My net worth includes my CPF as well. You do you and I'll do me. I choose to include my CPF because I genuinely see the value that it brings, especially when it comes to long-term retirement planning. That belief became even stronger after my spine surgery late last year. My MediSave was what paid for my hospital bills, and I didn't have to fork out anything in cash, and I'm just grateful for that safety net. Eventually, when I turn 35, I'll also be eligible to secure a HDB flat in Singapore, utilizing some of my funds in my ordinary account. Being self-employed, it also means that I can voluntarily contribute up to $37,740 annually across my CPF accounts for tax relief. And that's exactly what I did on 31st of December 2024, which I've shared in this video right over here. Strategic, yes, but also very intentional. And it's also something I'm planning to do later this year. So earlier this year, 1st of January 2025, this was how I allocated my net worth of $300,000. Cash was sitting at about $68,000, investment accounts $154,000, CPF was $106,000, and my credit cards was a negative $15,000. So all in all, my net worth was sitting at $316,342.83. And fast forward 6 months later, my net worth has grown to $425,553.96. Let's break it all down right now in the various accounts and how I've allocated this $400,000. Let's start with cash. Remember this video where I talked about my investing lessons from April's market dip and how I'm preparing myself for the next one? One key thing I mentioned was to define my baseline, a specific number I set aside as my emergency funds, which gives me the confidence to stay invested should anything like April happen again. Because I know that I have a buffer to fall back on, it's cash that I do not touch unless absolutely necessary. And for me, that baseline is $40,000. Now, sitting on top of that is another $65,000 in cash, which I've intentionally kept ready to be deployed into the stock market. And of course, I'm not just letting this money sit idle. It's strategically parked while I wait for the right opportunities. But here's the thing, gone are the days where banks were offering 4 to 5% per annum interest on our savings with capital guaranteed. Just last week or so, I think OCBC 360 announced that from 1st of August 2025, to get 2.45% per annum, you need to credit in your salary, spend $500 on selected OCBC credit cards, and save $500. And you must have the full $100,000 parked in there to enjoy this rate of 2.45% per annum. Otherwise, it's just 2% on your first $75,000. So where is my cash parked? Right now, it's mostly sitting in money market funds. And just to clarify, I do understand that capital isn't guaranteed, unlike a bank savings account where you have SDIC insurance on up to $100,000. Money market funds are investments after all, but I am able to go to bed at night knowing what they are investing into. So for two reasons. Number one is that the money is invested in government bills, securities, banks, fixed deposits, and more. And all of this information can be found in the fund fact sheet. Number two, capital isn't guaranteed, but for the fund to fail, if you really go and think about it, it would take something as extreme as the government defaulting or a bank collapsing for the fund to fail. So for these two reasons alone, I feel comfortable placing my money in a money market fund. One fund that I've recently used is Longbridge Cash Plus because of the interest booster promotion. If you're a new user to their platform, they are offering up to 12% interest booster on your first $2,000 for 90 days. It includes the 6% interest booster exclusively from using my sign up link down in the description box below. Add the fund level returns and you're looking at a plus minus 14% effective returns. No buy trades are required. All you need to do is to just opt into their money market fund. Currently, it's the iFast SGD Enhanced Liquidity Fund. And if you're in my Telegram community, you probably saw my thoughts of this fund and how it compares to the one before. And if you're looking to secure some free stocks like Nvidia or Apple shares, just fulfill the respective deposit requirements, buy trades and holding periods, and you stand to receive up to $900 in new user sign-up rewards. Not to forget that Longbridge Singapore, an MAS licensed brokerage platform, is offering lifetime commission-free trades in the Singapore, Hong Kong, and US stock market. So the only fees that you're paying is the platform fees, which means that you get to keep more of your investment gains. I'll leave the new user sign-up gifts details down in the description box below for your reference. So that's for cash, where I have a little over $105,000. Now let's move on to investment accounts, which makes up to a little more than 50% of my net worth. Let's go through that. Instead of just showing you the values in my various investment accounts, I'm going to show you the progress from the different assets that I've invested into since 1st of Jan to 1st of July 2025. So for Singapore REITs, I had 41,000 invested. Some other miscellaneous Singapore REITs on another platform at $15,000. I separated this out for some reason, but anyway, bonds was sitting at 40K. Singapore banks at $31,430, US stocks and ETFs at $27,000. 1st of Jan 2025, I had $154,930 invested into the stock market. 6 months later, 1st of July 2025, my REITs position have increased to $52,891. Bonds have stayed the same at 40K. Singapore banks have also increased to a little under $57,000. US stocks and ETFs have also increased to $68,224.50. For management portfolio, it's something new that I've started since 4 months ago, and right now it's sitting at $400. The way I manage my money, or what is shown in my Notion Finance tracker, is only the capital that I've deployed into the stock market. So right now, I have a little under $220,000 invested. Next year, in January 2026, I'll release a similar video like what I did for this year. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely subscribe and follow along on this journey. Quite recently, I've actually updated my Singapore stock portfolio holdings in this video. So if you're interested, you can check that out as well. For CPF, right now it's a little above $109,000. The reason for an increase as compared to 1st of Jan 2025 is also because I had to contribute as a self-employed person to my CPF Medisave account. So this is all in all how my $425,000 is allocated right now on the 1st of July 2025. Looking back, I'm honestly still in disbelief that I'm currently sitting here talking about a $400,000 net worth as a 29-year-old. It's not just about the number, it's the reflection of small decisions, discipline, mindset shifts, and just showing up even when things didn't feel like it was moving. If there's one thing I hope this video shows, if there's one thing I hope you take away, is that you don't need to come from money. I took home $2,160 4 years ago or 3 years ago at my first full-time job. And even when I left it in July 2023, I was only taking home $3,100 over dollars. So it's not that you need to come from money or get everything perfect from the start. You just need to start, stay consistent, and be intentional. Just trust the process. I just want to say a huge thank you for being a part of this journey. Whether you've been here since day one or just joined recently, your support really means the world to me. I'll continue sharing as transparently as I can the good, the messy, and everything in between. I hope this video has helped you one way or another. If you'd like to connect a little bit more personally, you can join my Telegram community over here or scan this QR code right over here. And as usual, have a great week ahead, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye-bye.